Hello, this is Warren recording in front of my green screen because I don't want to take the time to set up my camera somewhere else because in the language of the example I'm about to give you about time management, it is not a big rock. This is adapted from Stephen Covey, and if you imagine these little pieces of candy, including some which are green, which is why I had to turn off my green screen filter. Imagine these as just the little stupid, vile tasks that take up our time and that are not, might be urgent, but are not important to us. And imagine this candy jar as the important things, the things that align with our priorities. In Stephen Covey's example, big rocks, or in my example, big candy. Now, if we let these things occupy our time and spill into our rooms, um, it doesn't leave room for the big candy. In Covey's terms, the big rocks. There's not room to get many of those in because the little things take up all of the time. Jump cut. However, if we put the big rocks first, then there's plenty of room to make those a priority. And the little rocks, the less important things, can still spill onto the carpet, but also do not displace the big rocks in terms of meeting our priorities. Now, what your priorities are is up to you. What system works best for you in terms of managing your time is going to depend upon your own kind of inclinations and habits. I find for my time management, it works best to think about my honest limitations, such as perfectionism, and think about how to work with that rather than overcoming that inclination by a force of will. So, for example, recording videos for comments keeps me from being as much of a perfectionist as writing comments. And I get feedback to you more quickly and with actually more incisively than I would if I fiddled around with writing a great deal. For someone else, you might have another inclination. But whatever your inclinations are, the important thing that Covey would stress is you have to put the big rocks first. Or as he puts it, okay. Or as Covey puts it, rather than prioritizing your goals, make your goals a priority. The big pieces of candy, distressingly large numbers of which are green here, the big rocks. Figure out a way to put those big rocks in your life first. In my case, walking at dawn with my dog and spending some time taking photos. It's a good time for me to plan for courses. It's a good time for me to get out of my head. It's a good time for me to renew myself creatively, which is how I recharge. Putting that first actually makes me much more efficient at the smaller rocks, like answering bureaucratic emails, and make sure that the rush of small, sometimes urgent, but not important things that compete for my attention do not replace or displace or dislodge things that are important but may not feel particularly urgent. If you're interested in more of this, have a look at Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Efficient People or his book on time management, which I believe is called First Things First.